Hi, I'm Jean Szulc and welcome once again. So, I'm sorry I couldn't post last week, but the thing is, I'm going through a huge schedule change and it's been tough. But I want to get into this in the end of the video. So if you are a recurring subscriber, if you watch my videos, like not all videos, but like if you watch some, don't forget to watch until the end because I want to talk to you about my schedule and how this channel is changing a little bit so that I can accommodate everything. So today I want to talk about reprises once again. My last video was about reprises, but today I want to get into an example, a fantastic example on how to write a great reprise. So the last video I didn't give any examples, I just gave you a few headlines. So this video is good if you just want those headlines, if you want to understand what is exactly a reprise, how can you write one. But in this video I want to get into an example written by Joseph Haydn, and I want to analyze the exposition and the reprise from the first movement of his 8th Symphony. So first of all, I want to give you a little bit of context into the Sonata Forum. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a way of organizing your piece, organizing the sections in your piece. So it is comprised of three big sections. The first one is called the exposition, in which you have two themes. So thing is, it will present two different themes, and the important part about them is that they are often presented in two different keys. So like the first one is usually presented in the root of the movement, and then the second one is presented in the dominant. Usually you can present it in other keys. This is just the standard. Then you have a development. In the development, you will see all sorts of stuff. There's no rule on how to write a development. There's no particular form. But the thing is, a development is basically the section in which the composer will take both those themes, the theme A and the theme B, and he will actually develop them in like every way possible. The composer will show like the technique that he or she has got. Because the thing is, the development allows you to do whatever you want. So if you can do whatever you want, it is kind of expected that you do a lot of impressive stuff. And this doesn't happen every time, but the thing is, the development is usually the section in which you have like the craziest stuff. Finally, you have a reprise, and this is the subject of our video. A reprise is basically the exposition once again. It will represent the themes, both A and B. The only difference is that, actually there are a few differences, but the most important difference is that while the exposition presented both themes in contrasting keys, this one will usually present both themes in the same key. So if you have in the exposition, for example, the first theme in C major and the second one in G major, both will be presented in C major in the reprise. The reprise is also important because it kind of makes everything concise and it brings closure to the piece. And also, like the exposition is leading into the development, so it has to prepare the listener to this crazy ride that he's going to go in. And the reprise doesn't. It actually has to bring closure. So it's like you've gone through a crazy ride. Now let's go home. You know. So that's just kind of the concept. But I want to compare both the exposition and the reprise so that you can have an idea on like how does Haydn take this initial material he had and how he transforms it in numerous ways, really, and how it becomes something incredible and something we can all wonder at. So let's dive right into it. So in the first theme, like the first theme and the second is kind of interesting because it is not like one melody. It is actually a few different sections that are comprised into one single theme. You can see this because the theme, like both themes are in contrasting keys, so it's easier to identify them. But the thing is, the first theme actually has like a few different sections. It has 4 sections within like the same theme. They are fast, you know, they are very short sections, but it is not like one melodic line that goes from beginning to end. The second one as well, it has different sections, you know, so like it's just important to have this in mind because Haydn cuts out a few sections, he adds other sections within the same theme when he is in the reprise, so let's all keep an eye on to that. It would be good if you listen to the symphony first, but if you like don't know the symphony, don't worry, I will show snippets of it and let's just dive into it. So the first theme, initially it has an 8 measure period in the beginning of the first theme. You know, it's a group of small thematic ideas, but the thing is, the first group is actually a period, 4 plus 4. Haydn keeps this. He just changes the orchestration, so this first section is a little bit different, but like not that different. The only thing he changed really is the orchestration. So the first major difference appears from the 9th measure of the theme. And this is really incredible because the thing is, in that part, it would have like a 6 measure phrase or like a 4 measure phrase plus a 2 like measure idea. And then Haydn kind of takes this out and he actually merges it with the section that is yet to come. So the thing is, you would have like an 8 measure period, then a 6 measure idea, then another 8 measure period. He takes both the second like idea, which is a 6 measure phrase, and this second 8 measure period, and he merges it into one 8 measure period. It is confusing, I know. As you can see, he used some very sophisticated motivic development. He took like half one theme, this half of this theme, and half this other theme, like the second one, and he merged into one. So the thing is, he took 2 measures out of the reprise, but he added a new one that kind of comprised both. So the thing is, he is reprising both sections while not even showing them at all. It's like he's taking 2 things, making them into one, and like this is great because it makes the reprise sound fresh, but at the same time it allows the listener to understand, okay, this is a reprise, this is kind of like he took this out of this section, he took this out of that section, he built something new, we're good to go. So it's awesome. Like this is one of the techniques you can use in your reprises. You can like take two things and merge them into one, or you can take one thing and like separate it into 2 things. You can make a reprise that's like even longer than the exposition, but just keep that in mind. One of the awesome things Haydn did. The next section, in my opinion, is still part of this reprise of the A section. Like I've heard strong arguments against, saying that this is not like part of the reprise anymore, that this is part of the transition. In my opinion, it's part of the reprise, but the thing is, he tonicizes the key of D, which means that he doesn't really modulate to the key of D, but he just like goes in direction of D, which is like the dominant of the dominant, and he just goes in this direction, but he doesn't really stay in this direction long enough for you to say that he modulated. I won't get into that. It's not complex, but like if you're beginning, it is really complicated. So you don't have to like know all of this. Just keep this in mind. He added this whole new section, but at the same time he took out another section of the piece, which was the last 6 plus 6 period of the A theme. So you had like a 4 plus 4 period, then a 6 measure idea, a 4 plus 4 period once again, and then a 6 plus 6 period, which is like kind of a intricate like thematic group. It's kind of like particular, but the thing is, he took most of them. He only kept the first one, and he put things in its place. But the thing is, it sounds like a reprise because it is concise, it is well written, it sounds like a reprise. So Haydn had a lot of work to do, but he did it well and it works, you know. So then he took out that 6 plus 6 period and he added this new section with 8 measures. Instead of having 12 measures, now it has 8. In the transition from the A theme to the B theme in the reprise, Haydn still impresses us. He takes out that 6 measure idea, he takes the beginning of it, and he makes a transition out of that. So that part in which he basically cut out, he used that other half that he didn't use in the reprise, or in the reprise of the first theme, and he uses it in the transition. So the thing is, that thing that might have been lost now have been reused in other purpose. Like nothing was really dumped. Everything was actually reused in very purposeful, interesting contexts. This case in a transition. This transition leads into the B theme, and something interesting to keep in mind is that because a reprise in the Sonata Forum has to keep the whole piece in the same key, and in the exposition it had modulated. The composer often has to follow a weird path because he is kind of going to modulate, but then he has to come back to the initial key, so he has to find ways of not losing like too much of the transition from the exposition, but at the same time changing it in ways that it doesn't really modulate. So it's confusing, but it works. And like the thing is, this shows the like ability of the composer to really manage the material he has in his hands. So like it's always cool to look at those transitions. In this case, Haydn did excellently because he took something from the A theme and he made it into a great transition. It works. It sounds like a transition, but also it reminds us of the A theme. The B theme, once again, I think there is some great discussion on like where does it actually start. My personal opinion is that it starts on measure 207, but the thing is, it is not still in like the harmony does not lead our brains into thinking it is already like presenting the second theme, because you're having like a German 6 augmented chords like being constructed there, so it's kind of weird. It's not like a regular place for you to start a reprise. It's very unstable in terms of like harmonic content, but the thing is, it works. In my opinion, this is already the beginning of the reprise, because after all, the second theme is usually more unstable than other themes, so I would argue that this is really the reprise. Plus there isn't much of a difference from the first theme to the second one in the exposition, so Haydn might have wanted to compensate for that in the exposition to make in the reprise to make something a little bit more complex, more complicated, and a little bit more distinct when it comes to the reprise. So the thing is, in this case, you have a very intricate construction of like motivic development. He took all the measures from the like original theme, and he kind of took each one and reorganized them in a new order, and he created kind of this new theme. Sounds awesome. It works really great. In my opinion, it is part of the reprise, but the thing is, the part that really like reminds us of the B theme is what comes right after, which is a part that is directly quoted from the exposition. There aren't practically no differences. There are a few that are just like technical because of the different keys we're in, but like these are not differences that are like variations. They're just Haydn like adjusting the piece to itself, but like we don't have to get into that. Something important between like this 8 measure phrase and then this other 16 measure idea, there was something in the middle actually which had 8 measures. Haydn cut that out. So the thing is, Haydn had initially a 32 measure theme, now it has only 24, so variation once again. Right after we have a coda. I won't get into that. It's like I don't think we have to get into that in this video. I will maybe do another video on how to write a coda or something like this, but really like this video is really about the variation, how you can take something, make it into something else while not really making it into something else, while making it into kind of the same thing once again, except it's different. It's kind of confusing. Variation has this idea, you know, like you can do the same thing, but at the same time it's another thing, but like it's neither the same nor another thing. It's just a varied version of it. So that's basically it. And it's very confusing, I know, but it is an interesting piece to look at. And if you want to understand this piece better, analyze it for yourself, take the score and see what has been cut out, what hasn't. Just try understanding what Haydn did by yourself. If you have different opinions than mine, that's fine. Like this happens, you know, but the thing is, my thoughts are that it's always important to look at scores like this to understand how things are built and how things are put together, really. So, as I said, I have some important announcements about this channel. I don't feel like I have time to post every week anymore because my schedule is changing, but I am really interested in making videos that take more work. The thing is, this video takes a lot more work in editing. I had to analyze this piece, I had to do more stuff to make one video. I think the video will end up better, hopefully. But the thing is, it takes more time to do this kind of video. So I think I will only be able to post every other week. So I will keep my schedule as like a video every other week on Saturday morning or noon in like London time. But the thing is, I am still adjusting to this new schedule. I'm sorry if like things seem kind of bumpy. It's really because they are. So I hope you can understand that. But thank you a lot for watching until the end. I'm really glad you watched this video, and I hope you could learn something from me, because this is a very interesting subject. I am very happy to teach it because I love talking about form. I love talking about Haydn. I love talking about music in general. I love talking about all these subjects. But like, thank you a lot for watching. Don't forget to look at scores by yourself. You will learn a lot. Thank you a lot. I will see you next time. Don't forget to leave your doubts in the description or in the comments. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to receive more, the same as always. Thank you. I'll see you next time.